Hello, it's February 8th, 2021. I am Erica coming to you from Brooklyn. This is Nicole coming to you from Madrid.
How are
How's
you?
it going?
Good. What's up? Here we are.
It's sunny. It snowed all day yesterday, but the sun's out right now. How are things in Madrid?
Things are good. I guess it's worth saying for you guys that today's the day after Super Bowl Sunday. Would it be bad? I mean, how bad would I look if I told you that I had no idea who was even playing until I saw who won today?
I mean, it wasn't I'm not a big this is really funny. I'm not a really big football person. I think in growing up, the only time football was on was for the Super Bowl, and it was usually for the performance and the
Right.
commercials.
Exactly.
We were a baseball family, and in the winter, we were more of like a local hockey family. Like we went high school hockey, pee-wee hockey. That was what we did. That was our winter sport. So it's funny that over this weekend I was making a joke with somebody about sports, and I said, I love baseball, but I've never played softball.
Yeah, that's a good point about you because
Do you get the joke?
yeah, I do.
So I had to say it a couple times for him to understand what I was
I know where. Yeah, I get
right. So yes, I love baseball, never played softball. But yes, the Super Bowl, what I think about what happened last night, it was just a real, yes, we elected Biden. Yes, we kicked the clown out, but it's still a big F you, the way they packed people in the stadium and still had to have this big American capitalist celebration. It was, I don't know. I'm not a fan of football.
I guess people probably had their parties and all that business, I'm sure. I never was into
Did
it.
watch.
Yeah, I did see the George Costanza ad, the Tide ad, which actually was sent to me like 2 weeks ago by Maria's husband, because he knows I love that. He's like, you got it. He sent that to me. It was a good blast.
It was weird.
Came out of nowhere. I don't know like what sparked that, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a strange one. Did you see the Wayne's World one?
I didn't see any others.
Oh, you just saw that one because
Yeah.
it got sent. Okay. There's a Wayne's World one. I thought it was funny. But yeah, I just kind of thought that it was a big way for Americans to say we still aren't really taking this all that seriously, really, because it is, the Super Bowl is a big deal. Like, you're bringing it up and you're not even in America because it's news all over the world. So why not set the example of not having people in the stands? It just was.
Yeah, I see. I mean, it was the perfect setup to not do that, but they're not going to break tradition.
And it was in Florida.
So, yeah, I started my day off today. I said, oh, I'm glad this happened to me because I can ask you, what you would do in this situation. Getting on the subway today. So, put my card, go through. Now, it's not like a turnstile, as you know. Put the card there and the doors open and you go through. So I did that. And as I'm going through, I see in my peripheral vision this woman right behind me going through. So basically, I paid for her to go through.
She scooted in behind you, like as if it was a turnstile. Did we ever do that when we were like, we would sandwich ourselves in for a 2-for-1?
Okay, but that's like when you're 20, it's sort of acceptable, but not when you're 40.
And your friends.
Yeah, and you know the person. So, I wasn't going to make a big stink about it, but I did want to like make her acknowledge that I saw that, right? So I turn around. And the thing that pissed me off wasn't even the woman that did this. It was that there were two workers watching this, and they didn't say anything. And it's not like she darted off running. She actually stood there and was like rummaging through her bag and stuff, taking her sweet time. And I
Did
just,
she have a mask on?
yeah, we have to. I told you that couldn't happen. But I do look at the two people working, and I did one of these. I went, what, you got to figure I have my face covered, so you can't, I couldn't word mouth what I was saying really, but I went, hmm, hmm, mm-hmm. And then, and then just,
Gonna do it with all the eyebrows.
yeah,
Right?
not so that, hey, do something about this right now, but you see that? Yeah, you want to do something about that? And I just kept,
Was it effective?
no, they continued talking. So, another one bites the dust. I mean, what would you do in that situation? Do you say something to the person? Not, I mean, you don't go, I mean, I wouldn't have a fight over it, but or would you just go, oh, well, and keep walking?
Yeah, I don't know.
It
I'm
wasn't
not,
even, it wasn't even a kid. It was like somebody my age, which is why I thought that was weird.
I remember hating when people would set the alarm off just to go through the emergency exit door and they didn't care.
All the time.
So that's something I'd be like, are you gonna say something to that guy? Like he just set the alarm off and now like we have to wait for it to turn off, and it would be, I'm trying to relate to something that would be like, are you gonna do something about that?
Okay, so you would do what I did probably. Just one of those like, you see that?
Maybe,
And then keep going. Yeah.
maybe. So we're in February. We're almost coming up to like a year of like the anniversary of us locking down is coming up. And there was some things that like I remember kind of laughing and making fun of, like people being locked down and doing things because they're at home, like making bread. And I thought that was so stupid, but Ronnie made bread this week for the first
Okay.
for the first time. So we're like, late to the game on the trends, but it was time to like, it's cold. It's, try not to go out so much. And Ronnie thought he'd tackle making bread. And today, challenge number 2, pizza dough.
Okay, you let me know how that comes out because you are late to the game. Since the lockdown, one of the one of the traditions we've been doing, not really, it has nothing to do with me, it's because of the kids. Every Friday, since when we were locked in, for real locked in, we set like a tradition. Every Friday I would make pizza and they would choose some movie and watch it in the living room. So
But you like made your own dough.
I haven't stopped doing it since March. I make the dough. I come home from work on Friday, make the dough, let it sit there 2 hours, and then make the pizza. So I'm still perfecting it. I have to say, I mean, it could be, it's not easy. There's like a science behind that.
Yeah. He made just like a white bread, but yeah, he had his little timer out and everything. And
How'd it come?
it felt like, I mean, it was a little dense, but it was just plain. He just, but it was good. So yeah, we'll see how today goes.
Here you are. Next on the list will be banana bread. Then I'm gonna have to just.
Oh, well, I love, banana bread. I really love banana bread. There was something that my mom made that was, I guess it was a cake, but I always thought it was kind of a bread because she put it in the rhubarb cake.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is kind of like a banana bread. I think it's like the same kind of idea. Oh, I love banana bread. I haven't had breakfast yet.
Here come all the food analogies coming up.
It's gonna snow again this week. I think snow is on the forecast, which so this is I guess we'll go this file under asshole on this one, all right?
I've got one too.
I knew that getting a dog would force the socialization with neighbors that, who wants to talk to neighbors. Some are better than others. There's a nice dog couple down the street, lovely. So we took Domi for a walk to the post office, and then I'm standing outside with Domi while Ronnie goes in. As I'm standing outside, this guy, you know, it's one thing to just say it's a lovely dog or whatever, like that's fine. I'm not saying like people, I'm not being social. It's the instructions on what you're doing wrong.
Unsolicited advice, you mean, or?
Unsolicited advice. This guy just looks at me and says, you know, the salt is going to burn his paws.
Thanks.
And a million things go through of course, my face is covered. A million angry things go through my head of what I want to say, sarcastic, like, do I look like an idiot? Do I look like I don't know? I mean, it's a pit bull. I'm not gonna make this dog wear like little booty things. Like, you know, it's not a, we get home, we have these like coconut oil wipes that, you know, I clean them more than I do just him going out into the backyard. I know that there's salt, like we're gonna clean. It's okay, sir, just mind your. So I just don't understand why people do that. And
are they showing off their expertise? Is that what's going on? Or they just enjoy making you feel like they're teaching you something? Is that what that is? Like,
I don't understand, like you're not engaging in a conversation that is gonna, it just isn't a way to even start a conversation, you know? So shut up. Like, why, you know, why are you assuming that I don't know that?
don't you ever, you know, you're walking along and you see something and you might think it, but you're like, what would be the point of saying this?
Right. Yeah. You go home and you say it to your partner or your friend. Oh, I saw this lady outside and she didn't even have boots on her dog. Whatever. I don't care. Talk about me behind my back. I'd rather you do that.
Someone did that to me years ago when Violetta was a baby or little kid in the stroller, and
it's got to be so
they
bad.
were like, you know, at the stoplight, you know, you really should have her head covered. It's windy out. And I'm thinking, who the fuck asked you? I'm thinking, you know, if I was walking down the street and I saw a kid, imagine this scenario. There's a tornado coming. Kid's wearing a bathing suit. Even then, I wouldn't be like, are you going to put clothes on this kid? No, I wouldn't say that. You figure,
You'd say it in your head.
Yeah, let them to deal with it. It's not my business. Same with the dog. How does that affect you? You're not like abusing it. If you were,
I guess unless there's a crime happening, right? Or some really like immoral thing.
Right, like if you're abusing.
I mean, I guess he felt maybe that's just abusive to this dog's paws. I understand that it's a man-made thing. It's salt from the trucks. And it's not like it's, you know, he's just out, like, because the ice even, like, you know, it's fine. It's fine.
So what did he say when you said, you know, thanks, sir, or whatever?
I had my mask on and I just said nothing. I just stared at him and said nothing. He kept walking. Another thing happened, a guy, I mean, he was obviously intoxicated. That's what I'll say, but I was waiting outside of the store and this guy was talking to the dog, touching the dog, like, just like, and I was like standing back and he just is like, whoa, touching the dog. And I was about to say something. As soon as Ronnie came out and he saw that Ronnie was with us, he just darted. He was out as soon as it was like, and it all happened very fast. I didn't have a chance to like say something, but I was about to.
Yeah.
Like, get out of our face, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we can file that under asshole. What do you think about this for assholes? Because, you know, we went a week or two without pointing fingers, but let's point a few this week. Co-workers of mine, one in particular, sending out a group email like, oh, I see this is coming up in our lesson soon, like that we're supposed to teach this soon. Here's something I put together, thought you guys might want to use it. You know, we do that sometimes. We share material, whatever. Sends it. I open the file and I'm like, this is mine. I created this thing like 2 years ago. Now you're putting your name on it and passing it around and telling people that you did it? I mean,
Can you prove it?
I know it's not like intellectual property that's, like I wrote a song and she's getting the royalties off of it now, but
But he didn't like give you credit, like, this is something Nicole came up with a few years. I'm just
that's
sharing
pretty,
on her behalf.
that's a pretty ballsy move. I mean, or stupid. Did you forget that I was the creator of that and you're including me in the email?
Yeah, we're just coming from like the being a photographer with our Instagram photos and everything. We're always like making sure other people get their credit. Like if somebody
Yeah.
puts up a bunch of, that's not your photo, you're sharing so and so's photo, like knowing whose photos are which. We like call out people on each other and, hey, this guy's using your photo. I know that,
Yeah.
making sure everybody gets their hashtags right.
So yeah, I'm filing that one.
Yeah, he should have given you credits and like, oh, here, even if he used it, just said like, hey, this is, Nicole came up with this a few years ago. So the Golden Globe and the SAG nominations came out this week. A lot of stuff that we had watched, I saw was nominated.
Wasn't a big year for like movies though, honestly.
No.
More TV, but so what's your call on all of that?
I always, yeah, it wasn't the year for it, but it did remind me of another, so I'm watching I May Destroy You.
I May Destroy You?
Yeah, it's another British show. Back to the British shows. And I'm not done with it yet. It's interesting. It's like kind of a millennial show, but the star of it got nominated for a couple things. It's on HBO Max.
Okay.
So I want to finish that today because I think I have like one more episode left. It's one of those things that's like probably could have been a movie, but it's like a season 1. What else?
Well, Schitt's Creek, we want that to win.
Oh, so he hosted SNL.
I saw the monologue. That was about it. I'll watch the clips later.
There was a couple funny things.
He's so likable though, isn't he? So likable guy. And his father is just, I love him. He's just great.
So you saw the monologue. He's in the, Ronnie was like, he can't do SNL without his dad showing up.
They're a package deal. I thought that too. I'm like, there's no way he's gonna show up and not have his, little cameo there.
Yep, it was good. What else is going on? I wrote down so I had talked about like stooping NYC, and I had wondered, I remember talking about this in past episodes, you'd have to check out, that I wonder how long this site had been around. And I do think, I think Time Out New York did a feature on it, that it's become this craze during the pandemic. I think because a lot of people have been moving and in their house, maybe renovating stuff or redoing, people are throwing furniture out. It always was kind of the thing that I guess happens in New York. We have like kind of, apartment furniture, maybe, people always moving in and out and stuff. And the amount of furniture going out on people's curbs is ridiculous. So somebody created this stooping NYC. There's also like, I guess, stooping in other cities and other boroughs and stuff. And then it's like hashtag stooping success. And people put up their like things that
what they've done with the product. Yeah.
That they've done, their projects, like I have like a couple little stooping successes, but I can't show it. But we got a baker's rack this week. Like Ronnie and I were going to the store and we didn't see it when we were going to the store, but when we came back, there was this baker's rack, like a 2-piece, like really nice one. I mean, some are better than others. There was nothing unstable about it. It was all, and it was before the snow too. So it wasn't
curbside.
Ronnie, he's like, here, you take the bags. I'm grabbing this. And he grabbed the 2 pieces. And so we ended up like pulling everything out of the kitchen, putting everything back. And it's almost like it created, because it's tall, because it's 2 pieces, it almost created so much extra space. It feels bigger in the kitchen with this extra
Yeah.
piece. It's nice. So we had a stooping success. I also got this other piece. It was kind of like a bench, but like a storage bench. And I ended up putting it in our walk-in closet. I've just been like doing we've been finding stuff on the street.
That's the way to do it too, because you don't have to deal with the negotiations of, I'll give you $10 for that, or and then the person comes back and says, there's a screw missing. No, the only screw missing is you. I mean,
Well, if you go on these sites, like you think like, oh, well, one, I don't want to touch anything that's fabric. I mean, there's couches and they're like, people are just putting them back in their apartments. I'm like,
yeah, but my whole thing about the way people get crazy with, they come to pick something up and then they don't like it. This is not.
oh, yes.
This is
Yes,
not for.
yeah, I agree with that. But the amount of couches, fabric, I wouldn't touch that. But people are definitely taking them because you see all these then they
They probably upholster. Yeah.
Oh, look at here, I put it in my apartment. Doesn't it look great? I'm like, I really hope you, I mean, that whole process.
Now that's a different time, but back in the day, I mean, do you remember when I moved and we were trying to get rid of my couch and I couldn't get rid of it? And then one of my dressers I got rid of. It was like my brother's from 1981. It was a decent thing, but I think I was like, all right, I'm gonna sell it for I think it was $80 I sold it for. The guy came to the house. I don't even know why I would do this. I wouldn't do it now. The guy came over, I was alone, came with like 2 other guys. Come in. Yeah, sure, come in. They come in, murder me.
As a pit bull, don't worry.
The knives are in the drawer next to the fridge. Yeah, just in case. So they're carrying the dresser down the stairs. And as they're carrying it down the stairs, the guy's like, do you mind if I give you 60 for it? Like, you're not going to negotiate while you're on the way out the door?
No, bring it back upstairs. No.
That shit makes me want to kick them down the stairs and be like, you can take it for free.
Yeah, like rip out like a drawer and like punch a hole in the bottom of it or something. Yeah, you can have it for 60. Take your key down the side of it. Yeah, you can have it for 60. Jerk.
So I'm over that. But yeah, that's why the going around, I told you my mother has that in her town. It's called the big pickup. I think they designate like a day or 2 per year where you just put whatever you want. That way there's not shit outside at all times. And you drive around and I mean, this, you'd be surprised at what people have thrown away, like decent shit. Some crap, but.
Yeah. It's the mass amounts of like shelving units and stuff, like just,
But a couch, like the snow wasn't on the ground.
That's the thing. I don't know what people, as soon as the snow falls, I mean, it kind of ruins a lot of the stuff. So, but we got the baker's rack before the snow fell. I'm telling you, that was a bonus.
Take a picture of it. I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah, I will. So that's it. Where are we at? What
else did I want to mention to you? Any terms that you've heard over the week that you don't want to hear anymore? Any phrases or did anything come into play? Because I did tell you I had like a little ongoing list of things that I wanted people to stop saying. Like when people on social media want to say happy birthday to their children and they, you ever like see a mother or a father be like, happy birthday, Danny, like, and they say some cute little message about their child who's not even on social media. So it's just makes it even more awkward, thank you for choosing me as your mom. I'm like, who chose? I'm telling you, I know you say you haven't seen that, but I've seen that so many times.
I don't know if I can like pinpoint somebody doing that, but I'm sure it probably
It's gonna
happens.
come up now that I've said it.
I'm gonna see it all the time.
I'm like, am I missing something? Who did?
I think the choice was all yours.
That and the term surreal, like what is, that's been so overused over the years. This is surreal. Like, I don't even know what that means.
Steal this one because this is one Ronnie doesn't like. He hates when people say epic. He thinks that's an overused word as
An
well.
overused one too. This is
Epic
gonna be epic.
or iconic too. Iconic's overused.
Not as bad as epic, I think, but yeah.
Speaking of icons, I know there's something else that happened this week. There was a death of a New Yorker, Ricky Powell, who was the fourth Beastie Boy, photographer, documentary, hip hop documentary, Lower East Side dude, passed away at the age of 59. And he was in this documentary that was like, I think when I started, was aware of a lot of different photographers and stuff, like when I really picked my camera back up in probably 2008 or 9 or something, I think.
Mhm.
You know, because I was frustrated with digital, what was going on with that. I was like, oh, like I missed the darkroom process, whatever, but I was young and I just thought digital was shitty. And then I picked my camera back up again and learned about a lot of different people who were, you know, street photographers. And it's like this whole, like we talked about like this, like last days of analog, because so there was this documentary, it's called Everybody's Street, and he's in it, and Martha Cooper and a bunch of other street photographers. So me and Ronnie I watched it a long time ago, but we watched it again this week because he passed. And it was like, you can't do that anymore. You don't just like go around and like stick cameras in people's faces. You know, it's like you can't, it's like you just can't do that. And I don't know, I wonder if that's like why like so many photographers kind of shifted towards like taking pictures of murals and taking pictures of graffiti and street art and stuff, because taking pictures of just pedestrians is like not okay, you know, like they don't want, you know, they have to give their approval. Like the most you'll see is like a you know, stride by picture of somebody walking by a
Yeah,
mural.
that's
Like,
kind of sad to me.
or like you have like protest photography, like you know, people that'll go to the protests and photograph, but then you know, you have to have like, not that people don't do street photography, and there are people that do it.
Yeah.
I wondered if that was like what, like kind of like a shift that happened, or, but anyway, so rest in peace, Ricky Powell. The Weeknd performed last night at the Super Bowl, or if we were in England, it would be the weekend. The weekend.
Yeah.
The weekend. I love how they say that. It makes me.
And they say at the weekend, not on the weekend or over the weekend. What are you doing at the weekend?
The weekend. And I thought it was pretty awful. You haven't seen it yet.
I did hear though that it wasn't that good. I read a little bit. I have to catch up. Like I said, I'm behind.
I thought it was really pretty awful. And so there's this, if when you see it, draw your attention to this part. There's this whole, you know, dance routine with like 150, I would say 200 dancers on the state, on the field or whatever. They all have masks on, so they all look like uniform or whatever. I think they were all men. I don't think there was one woman employed as a dancer during the Super Bowl, which I thought was really weird. Anyway, that's my final thought.
I'm gonna check that out.
Like, I was like looking at all their, I was like, is there any women? I thought that was kind of.
I'm gonna check that out right now.
Anyway, Ronnie's getting a phone call. It's a busy day over here.
Well, then we'll just wrap it up then.
Let's wrap it up. Yeah, on that thought. So watch that. I call bullshit of like employing way too many male dancers at the Super Bowl. And I'm just not a fan of his music anyway. So.
All right, well, let me.
And who cares about Tom Brady? You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
Enough gives a crap.
You know what I guess if, I'm very passionate about Derek Jeter versus A-Rod, and I could go on and on about the character of those two people. But when it comes to like Tom Brady, I just don't care. I don't care.
Well, we don't care. We're not football people. So.
I mean, he's like a very privileged guy. Does he need another Super Bowl?
Around
this statistic, even for me, doesn't give a shit about football, is that he has more Super Bowl rings than any franchise.
I know.
That's kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
He's won all of them with the Boston team, New England Patriots, and then one more now.
Great.
All right.
All right. Well, take care. Have a good week. See you later. Bye.
Yes, we're on to the red carpet season, so that'll be fun.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Bye.